Okay, good day everybody, and it shows that the program is live. Let me let the internet relay chat people know. Okay, program is live. Okay, I don't think I can take a snapshot of that. Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's another beautiful day here in Kingsport. I can give you a weather readout. It's a beautiful, clear, deep blue sky. Temperature is presently 63 degrees, have about 34% relative humidity. And nobody has arrived yet. Okay, I see the update there from the Playbot in pound Linux Mint on the libera.chat internet relay chat network. Okay. Well, nobody's here yet. I expect as we get toward the holiday season that we'll lose a few of the regulars who come in here, and this is a Linux Mint question and answer, actually the Linux question and answer hour, where people can come in and ask questions about Linux related to audio and video production, but also ask general questions about computing. Oh boy, it's out there. Yeah, it shows here live a minute 57. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Maybe that's why there's nobody here. Yeah, that's really strange because no one has showed up yet. But it is live. That's strange. Yeah, it's there. I just checked it. Yeah, it's there. I just checked it. Yeah, it's out there. Okay, one person finally showed up. Hey, good afternoon. Introduce yourself, put your chat name there in the chat window, and they left. Oh, hold on. Okay. Now try. I don't know how that happened. There we go. That would really help. Okay, it shows here. It shows visibility is now public. Should be good. All right there, Marks, are you able to get in now? Okay. Boy, that was a bummer. I'm not sure how it got set to private like that. Oh boy. You know, what I do is at the very end of this stream is I automatically go ahead and set up a new one for the following week. And I have no idea how that button got pressed to private. And what a shame, because we probably lost a few people being 6 minutes in here. But I'm glad you noticed that and could help bail me out. Where would I ever be? Where would I be? Well, I have a couple topics. There's been denial of service attacks yesterday, starting in the early morning here, United States time, stateside, going well into the afternoon. And then today, the internet started out pretty good, but then the denial of service attacks continued today against major websites. And it wouldn't surprise me if Spectrum, the ISP here itself, is not under some kind of attack at their gateway. And they're just not admitting it. You know, when you call them, they're not going to tell you our gateway to the outer web, to the internet, is under attack, but that could be what it is. Because everything's been slow. Yeah, everything from Facebook, YouTube. I was afraid this program might be in jeopardy. Okay. Okay, well, we had a couple other people here stop by. Come on in, introduce yourself, and put your name here in the chat window. Ask a question or two. This is the Linux Hour question and answer, where we talk about Linux and all things computer related. And I guess while we're waiting for some more folks to show up, I'll go ahead and show a picture here of an old terminal. And this is the way people used to interact with computers. A little bit of computer history here. I'll go ahead and share a screen. Let's see here. Yeah, how about this? There's a little bit of computer history, the good old televideo terminal. And if you notice on the far right, you're going to see a couple disk drives there. But in the days when you used these televideo terminals, you actually had 8-inch floppies. Yeah, how about that? With a genuine geek in the background working there. How about that picture, Marks? Well, I'm hoping we're going to have a good turnout today, have some people drop by and ask some interesting questions. I tried to message that one person who did drop by last week. I inadvertently forgot to, I overlooked their question and did not give them an answer. Yeah, so the denial of service attacks has started very early yesterday morning, stateside here in the U.S. They seem to abate near the end of the day. And this morning, the internet was just fine, and then it started to bog down again. So on current news here, we discussed last week the scamming going on the social media sites. Meta projected that 10% of its overall sales in 2024, or about $16 billion, came from running online ads for scams and banned goods, according to a Thursday, that's today, report from Reuters. And Reuters is a pretty reliable news source. In other news affecting computing, job cuts in October hit the highest level for the month in 22 years. And the largest share of these job cuts came from IT. So that's a pretty relevant fact. Why don't we share the monthly news here for Linux Mint while we're waiting for some other people to show up. I'll go ahead and do a desktop share and we'll take a look here. Let me share the whole thing. Here we go. This is fresh news today. So here's the news. They're continuing to work on the Cinnamon menu applet, where you'll actually be able to configure the menu the way you want it. Which is a little bit of a change because the Linux Mint has used the same menu for a very long time. This one right here. And you've been able to change these items and add some new categories, but for the most part, it's been pretty fixed in time. And there's going to be some new troubleshooting tools that will be introduced to help people who are new to Linux do some troubleshooting. Right there. Somehow this is not, there we go. And a new system information readout. It's about the same as the old one, but it's been given some specific categories. There used to be system reports, and now it's going to have system information. Okay, there we go. And the all-important GPU. And there's more. So what we're going to have is, instead of just one report that gives you your entire system, you're going to be able to dig down into getting information about your system a lot the way KDE has a fantastic reporter for system information. Okay, so we're back in. And anybody else out there right now, come on in. The water is fine. This is a judgment-free zone. You can ask questions about Linux, audio video production, or if you want to, you can ask a general computer question. And like I said, I overlooked that person's question last week. They were asking me about working in IT as a profession. Should they consider getting into it? I'd love to answer that question. I hope that person will come back again. Oh, come on, man. I would never do it. I would never execute a command like that. And, they were doing that in Discord. As you know, the first partition is named A. And they were trying to get some people in Discord to execute that command to remove their boot partition so they wouldn't be able to boot. Yeah. So let's take a look at what's going on in Discord while we're waiting for some folks to get here. Let's see. Let's go into here. It's not working. It's a privacy feature. Let me go ahead and close that and then change where I want to go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to dive in. While we're waiting for some folks to get here, I just don't like to do what's called dead air time. We're going to make use of this. Okay, let's see here. Here we go. Yeah, there's a security feature where once you share part of your desktop, you can't flip around to other tabs or things like that. And like I said, if you can get past all of the pictures and the animated GIFs and some of the other stuff that people post in here, it can be informative. See what I'm talking about? Yeah. Actually, it seems like it slowed down in there today. It was very busy this morning in Discord. And of course, I'm in different groups. I'm in Pop 76. Okay, I'm not. And of course, I'm in Debian, photography and filmmaking, sound design, experimental music, photography, movies, and filmmaking. And then here are just some chat rooms. And then this is a small YouTube channel group, and then a voice chat group. Yeah. Okay, I can go back to the Debian community. Yeah, see, it's more business-like here in the Debian community. There's not a storm of emojis. Okay, that's enough sharing. How about that, Marks? Was that a nice tour? So we're here today to answer any questions you might have about Linux or computers in general, the future of the industry. We can talk about anything here with religion and politics. Yeah, the weather today here is beautiful. It's currently 63 degrees, 33% relative humidity. Our high today is going to be 64, which is one more degree than where we're just 1 degree off the high. With a beautiful clear sky, a beautiful day for photography, but I'm in here helping to host the show. Well, I know you need to say more in Discord. You need to interact a little bit more there, Marks. Well, I see we have a couple people out here. Come on in, introduce yourself there in the chat window, and let's get some questions going. In the meanwhile, let me check the topic leaderboard here. We discussed the denial of service attacks that have been ongoing on the internet here the last couple of days. If your internet seems sluggish to certain websites, that's the reason why. Okay. We discussed the Meta announcement and then the job cuts. Okay, and I've got a few new videos out on the YouTube channel. I'm going to slow down here. I've been putting out about 3 per week. Now as the holidays start to roll around, I'm going to cut back to 1 new release a week on the videos. I've got a beautiful video coming out next week. I can't take the wraps off or give it away, but it is going to be beautiful. And instead of using AI, I got some photographs from the Library of Congress, some high definition pictures to put up on there. Oh yeah, they've changed and they're already dropping here. As a matter of fact, some of the leaves dropped before I could get out and photograph them. And that's why right now, with the change in the weather, I'm going to focus on updating some older videos that were posted. Okay, I see that I see somebody said something there. Oh, no wonder. There's been 480 new messages. Yeah. Positively old system. Yeah, let's see if we can get some people in here from Discord. Yeah. You just go ahead and post it. All they can do is delete it. There we are. Let's see if folks are going to come in here from Discord, because I went ahead and posted it in the main channel, which I probably shouldn't have done. We'll see if anybody comes in to join us from Discord. Well, looks like a few people did come in just to see what's going on here. Come on in, don't be shy. Put your name here in the chat window. Ask a few questions. Let's have some interaction. Let's go. Yeah, let's get some questions going here this afternoon about Linux, about computers. We can talk about anything but religion and politics. How about that? Okay. Yeah, it turns out I was looking at some old messages on Discord. I was about 336 messages behind. Oh boy. Well, everybody left. Yeah. Yep, everybody left. Well, Marks, I'm going to call this in a few minutes if activity doesn't pick up. You know, there's been a lot of talk lately, you know, like every month they come out with a new food that's unhealthy, and the latest one is oatmeal. But I'll tell you, I love oatmeal in the cold weather. I'll have to get a big pot of warm oatmeal, and I'm going to have that for a late lunch today. Yeah. Okay, well, because see, yeah, hello there, True Cat. Good afternoon. Glad you could join us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself and if you have any questions or what you'd like to talk about. Come on and make yourself at home. It's very friendly here. The water is fine. There is no, this is a judgment-free zone. Oh my goodness, they're talking about toxic friends. Oh boy. I have experience there for sure. you see this changing? Yeah, so usually we have a better crowd, but as we get close to the holidays, we may have low attendance. So, all right, I like the true one better, the true cat. So what operating system are you on, and are you from Discord? You know, I just, oh, okay. All right, so you found it on your feed. Well, that's the thing, is that we'll go here for about an hour, and then things really get rocking after about an hour. But I like to cut it off after an hour and 30 minutes. So no less, we had like 12 people here at one time, and it was going pretty good. So maybe I just need to be a little more patient here today. I'm kind of the person who expects instant results. Well, TrueCat, tell us what you do with your Linux computers. Do you do artwork, or are you doing development work, or what do you do with your Linux? I have an entire YouTube channel that was done exclusively in Linux. So are you a computer science student, or what do you do with computing? We have a lot of computer science people who hang out in Discord, a lot of computer science students. Well, I see we had somebody else join. Come on in, put your name in the chat window, introduce yourself. Let's get this thing going. That was interesting because 3 people from Discord came in just to look, and they all left at the same time. Well, see, that's why I'm not on TV. Yeah. Okay. Do you do any development in Debian, or you just use it to browse the web and do some other things? Okay, you just use it normally like you would Windows, but you're not doing any development or anything like that. Okay. Well, Marks, do you have anything to add or any questions there for the TrueCat? Okay, you do, just not very often. All right. Well, some other folks are supposed to drop by today. I know Ed talked about dropping by, but everybody gets busy. Yeah, what desktop do you use? We're always curious about desktops. Yeah, what desktop environment do you use? Is the audio okay today? It's not breaking up or doing anything crazy? Okay, KDE Plasma. Oh, he wants to know what Firefox you're using, because Debian has always used a different version of Firefox in the other distros. I forget what they called. It's not OEM. They use a different type of Firefox. ESR, very good, very good. You get the cookie. Yeah, I don't like the ESR one either. I never have liked the ESR version of Firefox. Hey, I see we had a couple more people join. Come on in, introduce yourself here in the chat window. Ask a question, tell us something about yourself. I'm thinking about using this Opera browser. I noticed some people were showing it off here recently in Discord. See what the story with Opera is. It's been around a long time. It was on these embedded computers like smart TVs and things like that for a while. I think Sony was helping to pay for development in Opera. At one time, Sony was. Okay, we had a couple more people join us. Come on, put your name here in the chat window, introduce yourself. So you're asking me or Mark's, what is your opinion on Debian 13? Well, I have not personally used Debian 13 because I've been busy testing other operating systems and desktops. Like right now, I spend a lot of time with System 76 Cosmic. But I've heard people complain about 13 that it's been a little bit buggy rollout, and some people are waiting for 13.1 on the Debian to come out before they use it as a daily driver. I know one person I chat with frequently said there was some kind of a networking issue and they were going to have to hold on. Okay, maybe it did come out. But some people said they were going to wait until 13.1. Okay, well, I see we have some more people out here. Come on in. Put your name in the chat window here. Ask a question. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you're doing today, what you'd like to talk about here, because this program is driven by what you all want to talk about. I'm just here to facilitate it. So, TrueCat, where are you located? Don't worry. You can just tell us what time zone you're in. You don't have to even give a country. We're not looking to find anybody here. Yeah. Well, see, I have very specific needs for what I do because I use tools that cannot break. I can't have any downtime with the audio and video tools that I use on Linux. So I prefer to use an LTS that has a kernel that supports all my equipment, and that would be Ubuntu 24.04, which I've been on now for a year and a half, actually. And well, not quite a year and a half. And then I use the Linux Mint Cinnamon Desktop 22.0, and I use a custom version of a customized version of Linux Mint Cinnamon for a workstation. So if you all want to, I can show you my desktop here real quick. Would you all like to see it? Okay, well, here goes. I'm going to show the entire screen. Yeah, so here is, I had a message there in the channel. And we were looking at terminals earlier. This is how, in the hobby days, you used to interact with your PC. We've got internet relay chat going. System information. One thing I like about Linux Mint, although the other desktops offer this same feature, but I have a lot of projects here in video and YouTube. And what I like is how I can change that folder color. Now that's not the green that I wanted. There we go. So because if I've got 152 items in this folder here, it makes it easy to see the ones that haven't posted yet. See what I'm saying? So I can just make it easy to spot those in the multitudes. See there, I can change that folder color. Yeah. And then when it releases, I just change it back. Okay. And we got Winamp over here. This is just a skin. It's it looks like Winamp, but it's really sitting on top of Audacious here. Let's see if I can show that. Yeah, see, it sits on top of Audacious, and I've got different Winamp. Basically, you can use any Winamp skin. See there? Oh, that is a cool Winamp skin right there, Nucleo. Yeah, so that's how that works. And of course, the Visual Studio is here at the ready whenever it's needed. Virtual machine, but see, I need maximum space on my desktop, so I have a customized version here of Linux Mint Cinnamon. So how's that? How is that? Okay, well, I see we have a couple other folks out there. I guess some people just want to sit on the sidelines and take a peek and see what we're talking about. Okay, so the question is, do you have TTY? Well, I use a terminal, but that's about it. I do use a terminal, but it's just a regular terminal, you know, just like it's the GNOME terminal. Okay. Yeah, let me just focus in here on the, we'll take a look at the terminal. And let's see here. There's a little info about my system. Yeah. And my little face is in the way here. So let's see what I can do. I hit the, there we go. How about that? Okay. Let me shut that out. Oh, and I'm right back where we started. How about that? Okay, we have a couple other folks out there. Anybody like to come by, introduce yourself, put your name here in the chat window, and let's go ahead and get this show going. I try to give my regular subscribers enough heads up on this program. Like I said, as soon as this one is over, I'll schedule one for next week. And I know some subscribers are getting a notice a couple days ahead of time. So I'm hoping that some subscribers may come by today. Oh, okay. I thought there was something going on because it looked like it was rewinding. Yeah, I thought I was imagining things. Yeah, there was some rewinding going on there. Well, YouTube has definitely had some troubles lately because their infrastructure is getting so massive and they're having trouble maintaining it, I can tell you that. And I'm thinking about moving to a different platform here soon. So if anybody has any ideas, put them out there. You know, there's Twitch, but that's mainly geared toward gaming. But I expect pretty soon that Meta or somebody else is going to launch something, some competition to YouTube because YouTube has gotten so big. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, he got banned for a while and unbanned, and that caused a big fury. And that's a real problem when you're a channel person like myself. I have to be extremely careful against any kind of copyright strike. You have to be really careful about that. Yeah. Well, I see we've got a couple other people kind of piggybacking out there. Come on and introduce yourself here in the chat window. Yeah, you know, I'm not really sure where the future of YouTube is headed because of the cost of having to maintain such a huge hundreds of millions of videos. Right. Well, maybe that's what we need, more of an interactive chat than what YouTube provides. That's why I'm saying I'm looking at other platforms to do something like this on, if that makes any sense. But Twitch seems to be geared more toward teenage gamers. Yeah, I'm not sure how this would fit in on Twitch. And again, see, that's something we can talk about here. We can talk about anything but religion and politics, to be honest there. Well, I see we had another person drop on in. Put your name here in the chat window, introduce yourself. How's your day going? It's going good here in Kingsport. The weather here is just beautiful. Yeah, open the door here behind and let some natural light in. That's coming in from the wrong angle though, kind of messing with the picture. Because this is a relatively large room, I have to use additional lighting, about 240 watts of 6400K LED lighting, because the paint in this room is designed to, I'm trying to think of the right word, not absorb light, but to downplay it, because this is a home theater room and I'm at the edge of the room. Have I heard of Quick Emu? No, I never have. I've never heard of it. Heck, maybe we should move to Twitch. Maybe we should just try something new. Maybe there's just too many people already on YouTube that are busy doing their own thing. Okay, well, what is it going to do? You say it's a program. What does it do? Let's see here. If it's even in the repository that I'm on. Help if I type it right. Okay, it's not in the Ubuntu 24.04. Oh, it's a VM machine maker. Well, I've already got that. Quickly, you say. I'll tell you, while we're waiting for some other people to arrive, let me do some show and tell here. Okay? Let's do this. We're going to have some fun. All right, here we go. Yeah, so I like to play some old school games. Did that show up, Marks, or did it fail to show the other window, didn't it? Yeah. You were sharing another window. Let me do this. I'll have to show the entire desktop. Right. Yeah, to get this to work right. I have to share the whole thing because when it spawns a second application window, it leaves the original behind. So I have to share the whole desktop. Okay, here again. All right, here we go. See, there are some old school games I like to play in Windows XP. I've got this game controller here that wasn't even around when XP existed, but the VM here will allow me to play it. This is a fun game, very much. Yeah, I get real good control of that that flight stick. Super good control. Yeah, there we go. Oh, these things are tricky, man. They keep moving around. Come on. They're hard to hit. They're hard. I'm doing good so far. Uh-oh. Yeah. If I can get there, I can get some extra fuel here. Come on. Okay, that's enough of that. Because this game is very addictive. Let's go ahead and exit. Okay, were you all able to see that game? Well, anyway, I used to play that under Windows NT, and here's the game controller for that game. And what I would do is I would put that game on pause, and I would play it all weekend long. And when I went to eat, I would just put the game on pause. and get these crazy scores like 240,000 points. And I'd play that game all weekend. Need to go to the bathroom? Just put the game on pause. Need to get something to eat? Just put it on pause. And actually, I have two versions of the game. We'll go back to the window here while we're waiting for people to show up. Oh, don't do that. There we go. Yeah, so there's the trial version, and then I've got the full version. Okay. See, I've got the Fury 3, and then the trial version, I've got Hover, and of course, Pinball and some other games. Yeah, the MS Golf, and then Pinball. But so I have both versions of that. Fury 3, but interesting enough, the trial version is the one that's the most fun to play. I don't know why. It just is. Mysteries of the Universe. You know what's funny? Nobody else in IRC, Marks, wants to come in and join us, like Tony or anybody else. Yeah. Hey, I see we had some people join here while we were showing some XP in a virtual machine under Linux. Okay. Well, we've got a couple other people out there. Drop your name here in the window. Introduce yourself. Let's get things rocking. I was hoping that person, I forgot to answer their question last week. I tried to leave a message on their YouTube channel to come on back and I'd answer your question, and I was sorry that I forgot it. Okay, you're talking about my VM started up fast? You're talking to me there, Marks? Yeah, it's funny because I can run, I believe Windows XP supports up to 4 processors. I can give it 2. I can give it a lot. Yeah, I can run Windows XP in a virtual machine faster than it normally ran on bare hardware in the old days. Yeah. Okay, well, we've got a couple other folks out there. Come on in and introduce yourself. Let's get things going. Because we're 53 minutes into an hour-long program, although in the past, if we have good participation, we'll go ahead and extend it to an hour and a half. But yeah. So TrueCat, I'm also on Discord. I'm on Discord for Debian and Linux Mint. And here is my nick. And that's I'm on IRC, Discord, Linux Mint, forums, etc. Under that same chat nick. I try to use the same chat nick everywhere. I've got the same chat nick everywhere except Reddit. And I'm using something related to movie production for Reddit. Actually, I spend hardly any time at all on Reddit. Reddit just hasn't been exactly the most exciting thing since they went public. Yeah. Let's see, I don't even see where my account is. There we are. Yeah, there's my profile for Reddit. And I'm not very active at all. And when I do make a comment, it's usually a fairly wordy comment, like 2 months ago. Yeah, I've only made 3 contributions. Just don't spend a lot of time on Reddit. Yeah. So is that screen coming up good there, Marks? And how's the audio? Is the audio hanging in there? Let me make a double check here on the audio. Make sure it's looking good. Okay, 100% volume. That's great. So what I do here is I use these Linux computers for audio and video editing and processing, recording, video editing, and all kinds of things. Everything you see on my YouTube channel, I've edited here in Linux. Yeah, great. Okay, well, we've got some other folks out there in the wings. Come on in, put your name, introduce yourself, put your name in the chat window, ask a question or make a comment. We can talk about anything you want to talk about except religion and politics. In case you're wondering what we're talking about today, this is the Linux question and answer hour, where you can ask questions about Linux in regards to audio and video production. And no, I'm not reading that off of a card or a teleprompter. That's just reading that out of my mind. Okay. No teleprompter needed here. As far as I know, I do not have ADHD. Someone thought I might have ADHD. I think you were a little off base on that one. And then some other people I know that used to drop in here with us, Marks, they're busy right now. One person I know actually went back to work. Can you believe that? They went back into the workforce full time. One of my neighbors. Yeah. Hey, I see we have some other folks who joined us. Come on in, introduce yourself here in the chat window. I don't have my own Discord server yet, but I may start one real soon. But this is my chat nick on Discord. Okay, if you want to reach me. Yeah. At your on. But I don't have one, but maybe that's going to be the best bet for the future of this show, instead of hosting it on here on YouTube, is to have it on Discord. Do a live on Discord instead. Because it seems like here on YouTube, finger guns there, a lot of people just like to come by and look for a few minutes and then leave. I would love to have more participation. Let me show you my Discord here real quick again, so you can see where I'm at. Okay, onboard. I have a lot going on Discord. Let me get that out of the way. I'm in the Linux Mint community. I'm in Debian, photo and filmmaking, sound design, experimental music, photography lounge, movies and filmmaking. And then I'm on some of the voice chat ones. And here's one for small YouTube channel people. And how about System 76? That's where I spend a lot of time testing. Okay. So that's where I'm at. That's my Discord footprints. Well, now if we do a voice chat, everybody could have an audio input, and we can just, when this is done, we're at the 1 hour mark. When this is done, we can go into the Linux Mint server, and we can go in a room and have a voice chat. So I think we might be able to do that. I'll look into that more on Discord, and maybe that's an idea that we could move this to Discord. Yeah, that would be super. Yeah, on Discord. We could do a voice chat, and I know you can do a live on Discord, and I don't know if other people can comment while you're doing a live. I'll need to ask some questions about that, and maybe we can try that. Give that a shot. But I'm committed to the Discord platform until they start charging me. Okay. Oh yeah, everybody would need an account. You can't just fly in there. You have to set up an account. But that's an idea as an alternative to YouTube for this particular program. And like I said, I'm also looking for other platforms to host my the films that I've done, the nature films and the other things. I'm also looking for another platform because I think YouTube's gotten a little bit too crowded, a little bit too popular. A lot of the cool people have left. That's what happens with all these social media platforms. They get really popular. Remember Facebook? These platforms, they get really popular and then they peak. And then there's an exodus of people, and it's usually the young people and the creative people. They leave and go somewhere else. I remember when Instagram was just a place to share pictures. It was a picture sharing platform for handheld phones, for cell phones. Yeah. But to answer your question there, the true cap, I have considered having my own Discord server. I've considered it because of all the noise and traffic on some of the other ones. And the other thing, some people want to use Discord as some dating site. Come on, man, you're talking to people on the other side of the planet most of the time on Discord. See, that's the thing. Linux is a worldwide effort. So there are people scattered all around the world on Linux. Why do you want to come in there and act like it's a dating site? Yeah. Well, most young people now they meet through gaming. I didn't know that. I didn't know that a lot of teens, and when I say young people, I mean people under 18, they meet each other through gaming, through these multiplayer games and this thing called Roblox, which is taking over our youth. Any thoughts about Roblox here today? Any comments about it? Any opinions? Well, we've got some people standing by in the wings. Come in, don't be shy. If you have a question, you want to make a comment, it's a judgment-free zone here. We can talk about Linux. We can talk about computers. We can even talk about Windows. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about, as long as it's not religion and politics. Because everybody else has that one covered very well. Thank you. Yeah. Well, Marks, did we lose everybody? Did some big denial of service come along and knock us offline? Because that's what's been going on the internet. Well, I know it shows 5, but sometimes I wonder about that number, if it's a real number or whether it's a imaginary YouTube number to keep me on the air. Yeah, I'd love to hear from a couple of those 5. 2 of 5. Can we get a couple introductions in here? Okay. Well, see, the thing to remember, Mark, your ISP might not be connected to where all this denial of service is going on. Because what denial of service does, it creates a tremendous amount of traffic on certain internet hubs. But I know Spectrum the last 2 days have been very disappointing. Yeah, see, I'm on Spectrum. I didn't know they bought Time Warner Cable, but they did. Yeah, Spectrum is big. They're a big player. So see, somebody might be targeting Spectrum, and that could be why I've had sluggish internet, because when they bumped me up to half a gig a second, man, things were flying. Things are flying. FTP upload, done. Everything was flying. And then the last 2 days, it's been like molasses. Matter of fact, earlier today, when I was changing some repos in the software manager, it told me I was offline. I said, what? I'm not offline. Well, I may be moving to fiber. A couple more days of this, I'll be on the phone Monday calling the fiber company to come on out, hook me up. Give me your best deal. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've got a couple other folks out there. Come on in. Share a computer experience with us, or an experience with the internet. Well, I remember back in the days of dial-up, you would lease a T1 line, and then you would divide it up. You'd have a huge bank of modems and a multiplexer. You got all these U.S. robotic modems. Oh boy, that was really something. Yeah, itrw.com was one of the companies I worked for. Internet the right way. ITRW, how about that? Yeah, but the thing is, 1 gigabits, it's not necessary. Once you get up to about 330 megabits per second, you're going to be able to work faster than the gateways and the routers and the switches and the hops down the internet. You're going to be able to pull data down faster than they can serve it. Yeah, see, 200 megabits per second, 300. I mean, think about it. You should be able to download an ISO in what, 20 seconds? But you can't. And I noticed that about the repositories out there. A lot of the repositories, they're capped at 12 megabits per second. So if you're trying to download a gigabit Debian file for a game, you're going to be sitting there anyway. Yeah. And the other question is, when you have to share a gigabit connection with all these other people up and down your street, just how really fast is it? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of marketing going on with the internet. Always has been. You remember the internet was going to be a global village and it was going to solve all our problems? Remember the days of peace and love, unity and respect? Those days are long gone on the internet. Remember that term? Yeah, peace, love, unity, and respect. Boy, you never see anybody say that in a chat channel anymore. Okay, hey, we had another person stop on by. Come on in and drop your name here in the chat window. Let's chat for a little bit. We're going to go a little overtime here, a few more minutes. So we have plenty of time to answer your question or talk about the internet, computers, Linux, audio and video production. And no question is too small. And this is a judgment-free zone. All we ask is keep it safe for work and no religion or politics. We don't want to talk, because there are plenty of other people who do that for us. And keep it friendly and here. So you still with us, True Cat? See, that's the thing about this. You can never tell who's leaving your chat. It doesn't say the True Cat left. They just don't respond. So you can't really tell. Okay. All right. So what country are you in, or where in the globe are you? Well, feel free to add me on Discord if you're in Discord. Yeah. Oh my goodness, we had some more people join. We have quite a crowd out there in the wings. Come on in, put your name here in the chat window, introduce yourself. Gosh, that's a lot of folks just to be hanging out there. Let's get some things going. It turned off as soon as I hit enter. Yeah, I got you on that. Yeah. Well, I see we have quite a few concurrent viewers out there. How about some participators? That would be better. Okay. Well, it is what it is, folks. I expect as we get toward the holiday season, a lot of people are going to be focused on shopping and doing things like that. I'm still thinking about moving this to Sunday night after the NFL is done for the day. I'm thinking about Sunday evening instead of Thursday while some people are at work. But if you're in Europe, you're at home now. And a lot of people in Europe are into Linux now. And a lot of people in Europe are into Linux, far more than here in the United States. Linux just hasn't caught on here like it has in Europe. Oh, I saw a bump there as the camera did an autofocus. Autofocus bump. Well, I see we have 6 people out there. I don't want to just sit here and rattle on and on. I'd love to have some questions to answer or some comments to respond to. How's the video quality? How's the audio? Can we get an audio check? Can we get a video check from one of the 6 out there? That's another thing too. If you don't have a YouTube account, you cannot chat here in the chat window. It could be that we've got some people out there who are watching who don't actually have an account, because some people in the Linux world don't want to be associated with YouTube because of all the politics surrounding YouTube and the ad blocking BS and all the other things that these big mega giant corporations do. The privacy. Hey, by the way, here's some news. Finger guns. I got my Facebook privacy settlement this last weekend, and when I signed up with the legal firm on the class action lawsuit, they give you a way to get paid, via your bank account, this, that, or anything. And one of the options to get paid was PayPal. I said, that's great, because when I get the money, PayPal will let me know almost instantly that I received a payment. Okay, you just reached by not streaming. Okay, so how did you do it? What was your secret? Because maybe YouTube isn't the right place for this. Really? Okay. Because I'm open to all options out there. And like I said, I'm also looking for a place to move all my films and commentaries and things like that. Yeah, I should open up a Twitch account immediately so I can get a nickname that I want. That's an idea you've got there. The other option is maybe a Discord server where we can go live on Discord. Yeah, I'm surprised a bunch of people from the Linux Mint Discord, they came in to take a look. There were about 3 of them. And then they left as quickly as they came. I'm trying to think of the right word. Gone with the wind. Yeah. Yeah. And I just, anyway. Well, I see we're down to 5 folks there. I'll tell you what, since it's only True Cat and Marks who are actually actively in the chat today, I'd like to go ahead and close it out. What do you all think? Should we close it or should we keep it? Should we keep it going? How about a vote? How about some real democracy here? One vote per person. Okay, well, thank you very much for visiting. We'll be back here the same time next week. And you have a nice day too. Thank you very much. I agree, Mark. So I'm going to go ahead and close it. Well, thank you everyone who stopped by today to join us. And just remember, we'll be back here next week, Finger Guns, same time next week at 2:30 on Thursday Eastern time. And in the meanwhile, we'll be looking for some other alternatives here to YouTube to host this chat on, where we can maybe hear people's voices and things like that. So you all have a wonderful day. And this is Harry here in beautiful Kingsport, Tennessee. And I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. 7 threes, everybody.